Shalom Israel. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to Lek Abdib, doing this work of faith and labor of love and true sincerity. All right, and I want to get into a quick lesson based upon this one scripture here. I'm going to pretty much just quote the scriptures, as I'm on the road right now. I just want to talk about, examining yourself, Passover time, things like that, And this is the book of Psalms, 139. And I'm start at verse 23. Search me, O Yahweh, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts, and see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. All right, and I definitely want to speak to this, because Passover season is a very heavy season, so for, if any brothers, that may come across the video, if it's, your first Passover season or things like that, things usually get real hectic around this time. It varies for every brother as an individual, but I can speak as to my experience, and it's not just to speak about my own experience, but to share, what little bit I have learned during my time within this truth that may strengthen another brother. That's what it's all for. For me, it usually starts around like November to December time, and I feel it all the way through this time to about April or so, April or May, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes even a little bit longer than that. And you'll just notice so many different things that's happening. You'll just feel like you're on a downward spiral. You're just messing up, things not going too right. But this is a very, very trying time, for the men of the Lord, because we know that this season carries a very heavy spirit around it. So you just have to try to stand tall and remain, and know that as per the scriptures, consider it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as per Peter's chapter 4, verses 12 through 14, I believe. It's either chapter 4 or chapter 3. Always get those two mixed up, so Salaki. But, it's a very trying time, so as long as you recognizing, the things that are ahead of you, recognize, things as they come along, in your journey amongst the path, then you can move accordingly, and always keep things as spiritual as possible, knowing the time that you're in, knowing that this isn't strange, knowing that things will ramp up during this season, knowing that you're going to see men talk wild, crazy things, knowing that you're going to see brothers potentially fall out around these times, knowing that you might be facing all sorts of hell, especially during this time, knowing that certain spirits that are attacking you, whether internally or whether externally, are ramped up during this season. These are things that you need to be aware of. And if you're aware of yourself by examining yourself, it's much more easier to detect. The less aware of yourself that you are, the less that you will be able to detect these things. All right? Because the knowledge, the wisdom, everything that the Most High has endowed us with, and especially pertaining to the knowledge, is the greatest gift that we can have. But if you don't have the little intangibles, like a basketball player may have, they may have a three-point shot, they may have a fadeaway, they may can drive to the basket. But when it all counts and when it comes down to it, if you're driving to the hole, or if you're shooting a three, or if a person knows that his weakness is free throws, and I could get him there, I could just foul him on the three-point shot, I could foul him on the drive to the basket, as long as he don't get the basket up, then he knows that he got you in the trap. He knows that he's cornered you off. And that's what Satan is trying to do to you. Satan is trying to corner us off. And if you work on those little intangibles, like the free throws, because when you watch basketball, they're very crucial coming down the stretch of the fourth quarter and things like that. When you have those close games. Because in the playoffs, when the game slows down, it's not usually as fast. So as the game slows down, things are going to get more intense, going to be more fouls, going to be more of this, it's going to be more pressure on you at that line. You're going to feel that pressure increase as those times come. It's the same way with the Passover season. You're going to feel that pressure increase. So if you work on those little intangibles along the way, then you have less to fear, because you're aware of them and you can detect them as you're going along. These I know this may seem like a boring lesson to brothers, or me just speaking my piece about these type of things, but I promise you, these things are very key and very vital to our everyday existence, and especially during this time. I promise you that, man. Because I know from me, if I didn't pay attention to certain of these little things along the way, I would have, you know what I'm saying? You never know. You know what I'm saying? You never know, man. It could have been so much going on, so many things I could have took out of context, so many things I could have did this wrong, I could have that wrong. I could have, you can cash your own self out. We've seen it from so many men in the past, them getting bugged out around this time of the year or going through so many things around this time of the year. And why do these things happen? Because they're not realizing that this is a heightened season, that you need to be on your P's and Q's even more during this season. You know, it is that serious, man. And that's why, people in the church, they say, well, oh, God knows my heart. Well, he does. He knows our mind, and he knows our sincerity towards this truth. So the Most High is going to try you on that. The Most High is going to test you on that. And the Most High is going to be putting you through certain things. You know what I'm saying? But you can overcome them. You can always overcome them, because the Most High always makes a way for us to be able to escape. That's the thing. The Most High doesn't just put us in a maze, that's leading nowhere. There's an actual escape route. There's actually an entrance, and there's actually an exit to the maze that he put us in. Now, when you're dealing with Satan, Satan just putting you in a box. You can try to figure out the maze all you want, but every angle is closed off. There is no escape if Satan had complete control. But the Most High controls Satan. Therefore, you have that way to escape. But Satan is trying to box you with what within your own mind. That's the only way that you're going to be boxed in. This is when you go into Revelation 3:11. It says, uh, uh, it talks about let no man take thy crown. You can allow your crown to be taken by boxing yourself in mentally. We all know that this is where it starts. The Most High opens up our minds to so many different realizations. That's the reason we're in this truth as of now, as we speak, because the Most High opened up our mind and we were able to actually receive it. But if you're not able to receive certain things amongst this season, then you're done for. You're done for. You know. Around this time, you want to be, as always, you should always be humble, but you want to pray a lot more. You know, you want to be in the spirit more. You want to be thinking of the Lord more. You want to be, just giving it your all. Just giving it your all. Really contemplating on your life, your walk within the truth. Really contemplating on things that you can do better. Things in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Any way, shape, form, or fashion, just to make things better. In general, because what? This is technically our so-called new year, if you want to put it that way, because we know around the Passover time, this is when the new year actually starts, not in January, according to this calendar, according to Janus, the Roman god of the door. We know around the Passover season, this is the actual new year when new life is starting to spring up. That's what we know to be true. And we know this according to the scriptures, per Psalms 65:11, and various other scriptures, and the Lord revealing certain things unto us, and we praying for what? The Lord to, increase us, for the Lord to keep us out of harm's way, for the Lord to sustain us through all that which we go through, for the Lord to remove any wickedness that may be within us that's been still sitting there while we're trying to shed that old man and constantly put on the new man day by day, because it's a work in progress. Every single day, it's a work in progress. Because we know within this lifetime, we're never going to be perfect. So it's always going to be something that you as an individual can work on while you're walking within this truth, And that's something that I do my best to try to look at every day. Of course, some days you're going to slip more than others, but as long as you keep that fight in to, you're going to lose some battles, but as long as you want to make sure that you winning more battles than you lose, and you want to make sure overall in the end that you're going to win the war. That's what it's all about when it comes down to it, man. So with that, a sharper sock, to brothers that's out there, what I'm saying, celebrating Passover, this solemn assembly, that we have to honor our Lord, Yahweh Shah, and him putting his life down on the line for us as being the mediator, per it's either 1st or 2nd Timothy, 2 and 5. you know, and us constantly striving for perfection, you know, as our big brother Yahweh Shah, you know. So, you know, with that, you know, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to like out there doing this work of faith and live with love and true sincerity. Shalom.